Clash Royale coming at you today in Clash Royale. Welcome to the channel, guys. I am happy to have you here. Prepare yourself, brace yourself for the work in progress balance changes here for December 2022. Almost said 2023. We're almost there, old man Ash. We're almost freaking there, dude. Today we have the balance changes, guys. The community, surprise, surprise, is in an uproar over these balance changes. I want to hear from you guys as well. I'll give you my opinion first. Let's go through. Before we see all the commentary on these from all the pro players and everybody else in the community, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. Actually, first off, I'm kind of blocking him, but the Monk elixir change from 4 to 5 elixir. So they're giving the Monk the nerf hammer. Changing the elixir is one of the most drastic things that you can do to a card. How do you guys feel about this one? We saw this one coming, right? I'll give more feelings on it in a bit here. The nerf to the Phoenix, minus 13%, dies to lightning now on the HP, okay? Buffs, we have the movement speed buff that nobody saw coming to the Mighty Miner. So medium to fast speed on his movement now. Interesting. Damage to the minions, plus 15%. Damage to the minion horde, obviously plus 15% as well, and deploy formation into a bigger radius. Now, some reworks here. Check this out, guys. This is going to be this is interesting. The radius is going to go from 5 down to 3, right? The duration, the variable is going from variable to fixed to 6 seconds. So it's going to be a 6-second duration flat out. It's going to be a fixed duration, right? The damage is now going to be variable depending on level. It will kill goblins, apparently, at max damage. Pushback now added to the spell as well from 0 to 0.3. That's very interesting, guys. The Rage rework, and obviously it does affect the Lumberjack as well, coming in the Q4 update. So apparently we're getting a Q4 update. Sounds good. The Christmas update, if you will. Man. This one is interesting, guys. More thoughts again to come on a minute on that. The spawn frequency of the newly reworked Goblin Hut. The 4 seconds all the way to 10 seconds. The spawn interval per goblin is going to be 0 to 0.5 seconds. The spawn wave count is going to go from 1 little gobbo to 3 goblins. And then lifetime from 31 to 29 seconds. The total spawn goblins go from 11 to 12. 3 by 3 by 3. Okay, guys. This is an interesting balance change to say the least, right? A lot of what we thought we'd get, some of what we didn't thought we'd get, right? All right, so let's see what people have to say about this here, starting with Lucas Gamer, always coming with the thunder, man. He says, Rage 1 is stupid. Hope it doesn't get added. What's the point of upgrading it, says Cardis. Let's go ahead. I'm not sure if I'm on the original comments here. Okay. Sam. Make Monk's ability 2 elixir and keep him at 4, he says. I think the Monk should not cost 5 elixir, says Surge. Surge is really on point lately. He's really got a knack for, I guess, kind of the game design and game balancing, and he has a lot of good tips out there if you want to give him a follow on Twitter in terms of tips to actually improve your game. Not something that a lot of players out there, you know, or a lot of pro players are constantly giving like Surge is. So, at Surge_TS. He thinks that balance should be more focused on the ability because that's what makes him strong and overused. I tend to agree. Spoiler on my opinion there. Let them milk some money from another month, and then we'll get him. We'll get the new meta next year as a gift in January. Okay. 2 good CR. No RG nerf. No GY nerf. But let's rework the Goblin Hut because nobody asked for it, he said. And 117 likes on that one too. Let's be real, man. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but especially at tournament level standard and at top ladders, so like when the card levels are equal, the Royal Giant and the Graveyard are the 2 like strongest win conditions right now in the game by far. That's if you don't include the Monk and the the Phoenix as a win condition, which obviously they're not intended to be necessarily, but they definitely are in every deck and so broken. Well, I like the Rage change. Okay, so Noah coming at us with a little bit of positive. I need to be a little bit bigger here, man. A little bit of positivity. He said, I like the Rage change. Oh, as a Sparky player. But even I think it might be a little bit too strong. Rage shouldn't be able to kill goblins. Should do damage of a zap at most, TBH. Rage just doing damage as a spell is going to take a lot to get used to. It doesn't seem like that's the, you know, the intention of the card, you know? I mean, who am I? I didn't invent the card, I guess, but it seems like counterintuitive, right? Finally, a Rage rework. I love it, says Andre Arthur. Yuso, he says, Goblin Hut buff kind of useless because the log is the reason why Gob Hut can't do anything because you never get the death spawn. Also, Raid is going to be cheaper EQ with Rage, so get ready for a big hog. Ice Spirit Rage, first play, taking your whole ass tower down. Dude, that doesn't sound good at all, man. That does not sound good at all. And Yusto, dude, he can't stop. Not a fan. Rage will, dude, he's all over it, man. He's all over the, how do you guys, you know what? I don't know, man. I'm kind of feeling him on that Rage rework, you know? I kind of agree. Like, that could be disgusting. I saw that OP Sam, dude, one of the most innovative players in the entire game, ex-OP Sam, right? There we go. This dude, he has some thoughts, too. Let's go. This is from way back in May. I'm going to give it a like anyway. Who knows, right? All right, so what does he have to say? He goes, WTF! Might be the worst balance changes in a while. He says Gob Hut will still be bad. He said, no, who asked for a rage damage and pushback? Might be broken. Why are they changing Mighty Miner's speed? Why are they changing his speed? We saw what, you know, sometimes when they buff a card by adding speed, it's actually a nerf, and sometimes when they nerf a card by slowing it down, it's sometimes a buff, like the cannon cart. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was supposed to be a nerf to the cannon cart. The cannon cart was actually a lot stronger when they made him a little bit slower. Is it a him? Is it a she? Apologies to all the cannon carts out there. Didn't mean to assume gender on the cannon cart. Phoenix nerf is good. Okay, well, we can agree on that, right? I think everybody, no problem with a, an HP nerf to the Phoenix. Now it can die by lightning. I think that's a good move, right? No way Monk should be 5 Elixir. The issue is the ability, not himself. Well, the good news is here, ladies and gentlemen, this is a work in progress, meaning they could hear our feedback. I want to give you my quick thoughts. Actually, to be honest with you, Sam has one more thought I want to share too. He says, we're about to see Sparky players Rage use Skarmy or Goblins instead of zapping it. Not a big fan. So, actually my thoughts echo a lot of what you heard from Sam there. I still think the rework to the hut is going to be bad. I don't think it's going to really matter that much. You might be able to get some utility out of it, but, I don't know. I don't think it's going to make a big difference. We have the rework to the Rage. Personally, I'm scared about that one. Again, it doesn't even seem like it fits the nature of the card necessarily, but we'll see. I mean, killing goblins? Like, it's kind of like an EQ with Rage. Anyway, buff to the movement speed of the we already talked about that. Damage to the minions. I think that's actually a really good buff. It will make them, because I think that personally what? Bats. I think that zaps are better than minions, ladies and gentlemen. I think that bats are actually better than minions right now, so for 1 extra elixir, I think that damage will make them a compelling choice to folks out there. The formation on the minion horde, I think that's a good move as well. I think you could see some minions and minion horde creeping into the meta a little bit more. And then the nerf, again, I agree to the nerf to the Phoenix. I don't think they overdid it, certainly, but you could argue they did overdo it with the Monk. I mean, that's a massive, as I said in the beginning of the video, as I'll say in the end of the video, an extra elixir is a massive thing, whereas everybody said it, so I'm just going to parrot what they said because I agree with it. It seems like it's the ability that should cost at least 2 elixir. That ability is so freaking strong, but it's not necessarily the elixir cost of the card. But, will it all kind of even out in the wash? Will it still be a strong card with a broken ability, but because it costs a little bit extra, will it be okay? Is the problem inherently just champions to begin with? Are they just a bad thing for the game? And, whether we're focusing on the Monk or the Queen or whatever, it really comes down to the 3-card cycle and how that's impacted the game. I would argue maybe a little bit of both there, guys. Anyway, those are my opinions. How do you feel about these emergency balance changes? Can't wait to hear from you guys in the comments below. Let me have it if you disagree with me. I know you always do anyway. Send us some positive vibes out there, some love if you need it right now. If you're going through something, just recognize, as I always tell you guys, it will get better. Things will change. I look back at the things I worried about when I was a person. I believe it or not, I was a person at one point in my life. Still am, I think. Yeah, I am. So things get better. Like when I looked at what I were stressed about like 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago, or even 2 years ago, and I look at my life now, I almost feel like a different person. I got through all that bad crap, and you can too if you're going through something right there. So again, to those of you who are watching who are, you know, not feeling too great lately, just know you're not alone, and things will get better. I love you guys, and as always, take care, guys.